Hello, in this video I'm gonna showcase the code behind the dashboards that we created. If you go to the GitLab repository and then go to Home, Golem, and then R, you'll see the files that are actually responsible for the dashboard. And there are two main files, app UI and app server. They are actually what the app is built upon, because this app is built in R as a Shiny application using Golem framework. Those two files reference different modules, exactly 9 of them, and there are some couple helper files like globals, which contain all the global variables used throughout the app. So, app UI, as I said before, and app server are the main files that reference everything else. And both of them have this comment section, which actually references all the functions that is used throughout the app. So for in Golem, you cannot just call directly a library that you're going to be using. You need to call explicit functions that you're going to be using from that library. So here, for example, from Shiny, I call tag list, icon tags, and all of those different functions. And that's a specific thing to Golem. It helps preserve a lot of memory because we don't need to upload the whole libraries, we just use explicit functions. Essentially, it's just like any other Shiny app. This side is responsible for user interface, and server is responsible for the actual logic of the app. So app UI starts with designating theme and the structure of the app, as you can see, main menu. And then the rest, it populates each tab with information. For example, you see here home tab and the message that is present on home tab, different buttons, and this is sample data sets box. Then there is different tables. Here I call them module norm tables, mod tables, and I call it 3 times, but I use different variable names to differentiate them, because I put different inputs, I get different outputs. So essentially for normalization tables, it's the same function, but it's for different inputs, it produces different outputs. We didn't need to repeat the function, we didn't need to repeat rendering tables 3 times. We just had to designate module once and then pass 3 different variables there to get 3 different outputs. And it's essentially the same for all the other tabs. Now, App Server is much more complicated than that. There is a lot of what's going on in App Server. I'm not going to go all over it. So here is the login part, and it's commented really well. You can go to the GitLab repo and it's quite straightforward what each section does. Here is the uploading data section, and then there is different processing that's happening, like read peptides, read proteins, etc., until we get to relative abundance, protein abundance, and relative occupancy. All those data are meta-reactive to keep track of the code that is behind each variable, so then we can show the code that can be used directly in our studio. Now we reference again the same mod tables. There in app UI it was app tables UI. Let me find it. yeah, here is mod tables UI, and here's mod table server. But essentially, it functions same for counterparts for like UI server. Mod tables consist of mod tables UI, which designates UI for the module, and then there is mod table server, which designates the server side of the module. And on this side, we can see that it's actually rendering the table, and then gives the user option to download those tables. And UI side actually shows the table and shows the buttons to download. And then the process is repeated for each plot. So here we can see plot meta again, combine data, ggplot2, ggplot here. It essentially creates table for, again, different inputs. It creates the same tables but with different data, or different plots with different data. So that's quite straightforward. Yeah, so all of this, we just needed to repeat this 3 times rather than create a separate type of plot each time. And there is differential expression analysis. We get groups, and then we do lemma results for relative abundance, relative protein abundance, relative occupancy. We put them into differential expression module. It gets processed, and we get tables, volcano plots, the gene set analysis. Again, we get group names. Everything is as reactive as it could be. We try to avoid hard coding a lot of stuff. Then there is species selection. And again, the data gets processed, and then it is applied it gets delivered to modules. Modules output different tables, different plots. There's Casey analysis, same thing. Then there's help pop-up, which essentially shows different information for different tabs. Summary tab gets information from the previous modules and then gets summary from it. So it's all pretty straightforward. Again, it's all very well commented. You can see it for yourself on GitLab. It's open source. I would say the most interesting thing is how modular this app is. So we didn't need to, again, like repeat same functions 3 times for relative abundance, protein abundance, relative occupancy. We just wrote a module and then passed different values. We got different outputs. And this is the shellcode module. Shellcode. So yeah, if you have any questions, email us at the emails provided at GitLab. And thank you.